Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Jazz Unfiltered. Today I have Mandy. Mandy, you're on again.
Again,
Two-timer.
reoccurring guest.
Yes, I love it. I need to have you on more, and I need to
Uh,
be on your channel.
of course, anytime.
Okay.
We'll
You
work
didn't
it
have me
out.
on your channel yet.
Get the calendars out.
I'm a Leo. We want to be
Me
a part of it.
too.
Yes. Oh, yeah. My July Leo. You're like on the, what is it? The cusp.
I'm literally on but I'm full Leo.
Nah,
There's no
you a Cancer
questions.
Leo cusp. That's hilarious. All right, so today we're going to be doing, evolution prediction. There's been a lot of backlash on this whole process as a whole anyways with evolution. I'm trying to keep it positive just because regardless of the obstacles and adversity and whatever and the booking and marketing, I'm just happy that we get a all woman PLE and I'm trying to be positive about it. I've been seeing there's been so many videos first of all of people clocking WWE for how, the treatment
I
of
was
the
one of
women.
them.
I definitely did. I
I was
definitely
one of
did.
them. And I will give them the benefit of the doubt because Liv's injury didn't help.
Yeah.
Because I know she was involved with a lot of stuff. So that didn't help. And they kind of had to pivot from that. But I just feel like we were so excited in the beginning and then just it flatlined. But I'm still
Mhm.
excited. I'm still excited for the women because they deserve it. It's such a
Yeah.
strong women's division. So I'm still going to be tuned in.
Yes, definitely. But I think it's just interesting that even the, male wrestling fans were able to pick up on these discrepancies and they've really
Mhm.
been, fighting for us women to get the respect that, they deserve. So I'm just trying to remain positive because either way, regardless if there's a story or not, I feel like the wrestling's going to be amazing. I
Mhm.
love watching the women. They're like my favorite part of any PLE is watching the women's matches. So
Yeah,
just
lately they've been absolutely killing it on
mhm.
any PLE that they're on. So I'm super excited for them.
Yep, they're gonna show off and outdo the men anyway. All right, so the first one, Jordan and JC Jane. So they're coming over from NXT. I think another couple is coming over from NXT. Not couple, but you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
Jordan and JC, who do you think?
So JC currently has the championship, and I honestly think Jordan's going to take this. I think she came in because we saw her in the Royal Rumble twice now, and then she came
Mhm.
in NXT pretty hot and heavy. And we've been getting teasers ever since Blake Monroe showed up
Mm.
about her and Blake. So I think that Jordan's going to take this, and then I think she's going to feud with Blake Monroe.
Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna side with you because I have not been as consistent with NXT. I'm gonna be honest. But also I think that JC Jane has had a really good run. I feel like
Hmm.
she's had a lot of matches. Didn't she recently go against Tatum? Did I imagine
Yeah,
that?
I think so. I haven't consistently watched NXT either, I'll let you know, but I've been
Mhm.
just kind of following what's going on there, but I think
Yeah.
she did just go against Tatum recently.
Yeah. Every one of her little feuds have been really interesting and
Mhm.
fun, and I feel like she's done a lot with that reign. Now, the only thing that I can see possibly happening is their match getting interrupted by Blake or something
I
like
was
that.
just gonna say, so I personally think because the bits and pieces that I have seen recently, her
Mhm.
and Fallon seem to kind of not be on the greatest terms. They have that
Ooh.
Dom and Finn kind of relationship. And so I could see if Fallon gets upset kind of costing her. So that could be a
Oh.
possibility. I don't know. Maybe
To
I'm just
kinda
throwing it out there.
counteract. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Mhm.
That's true. Yeah, and I feel like Sean, he would pull the bullet on that. I
He
feel like he
would.
would, or the trigger. He would pull the trigger on that. And that's something that doesn't really happen on the main roster for some reason. We don't get those
Mhm.
big moments anymore. Like
I know.
they hold him back from us for so long that we get like bored of the story.
I feel like we get them more in NXT though. Like I feel like
Yes.
NXT has gotten more of the like, oh my gosh moments.
Yeah, and that's what makes NXT, the best wrestling brand that we have, you know?
It
That's what
is
I
pretty
like is the
good. It
stories.
is pretty good.
It just stinks because the reason why I can't be consistent with it is, like, it's hard to, like, be consistent with every brand. It's, like,
Mhm.
3 days out of the week.
Well, and then like the nights that it's on too, it's just, you have to be available Monday and Tuesday and Friday and it's just I
Right.
try to be, but usually I'm catching up on Twitter if not or X, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. The way that the main roster is getting booked and stuff like that, it might draw me back to just doing
Mhm.
Tuesdays and Fridays or Tuesdays and Mondays because I can't do each of those,
Yeah.
but I just feel like the storytelling is a lot better on in NXT. So we'll see. I'm gonna say with that information, I guess I'll oppose you and say JC.
JC.
Yeah. I feel like they're gonna get an interference or because she's had a lot of backlash as well, I feel like,
Mhm.
from her reign. And people didn't want her to have it and
I think
whatever.
the way it happened, they were like, "What?" But the way it happened was because Stephanie was going to the main roster, so it makes sense in the long run. I think they were just like shocked that it was her.
Yeah, they didn't want her to beat her, that
Mhm.
specific,
Yeah.
person, but I think that's what's supposed to happen sometimes, that's how
Yeah.
you put people over, is you have them win, not just fight against them, you have them win against them.
And JC's been doing it for a while. I mean, she was in
Yeah.
Toxic Attraction with Mandy Rose. Like, she's been doing it for a while, so I give her
Yeah.
credit.
She deserves it, she deserves I'll say JC to be the opposing vote, but also to, I would love to see, like, something like that where they have, like, an
Mhm.
interference. I feel like that's one of those matches where everyone's like, "Oh, for sure, Jordan's gonna have to take it," you know? So I'm like, maybe they'll pull one over on us, who knows? Alright, what about Kyrie, Asuka, Zara Soul, oh gosh, Raquel, Roxanne, Charlotte, Alexa, and this, like, huge tag
Say
team?
that 5 times fast.
No, I can't.
So I am a little split on this one. I think that they made a huge deal about Asuka and Kyrie like coming back together on Raw last night. So I'm wondering if maybe they're gonna go that route. But I could also see Roxanne and Raquel retaining just for the simple fact that Roxy is trying to get in the Judgment Day. She's trying to
Yeah.
weasel her way in, so she's going to do whatever it takes to keep that belt. But I will say if they lose, it makes an interesting dynamic because then they're going to blame Roxanne. She's like the new
Oh,
person.
yeah.
So I'm a little torn on that one. I think it's definitely going to be between Roxanne and Raquel or Asuka and Kyrie.
Right. So not Charlotte, Alexa?
I love Charlotte and Alexa, and honestly, I wouldn't be disappointed if they won because I love that dynamic. I think it's such an interesting dynamic,
Mhm.
but I don't think that they have the fire behind them like the other two.
Well, also, I feel like they had a lot of tension before even
Hmm.
becoming a team, so I definitely feel like they're gonna bicker or fight or something with each
Yeah,
other. They're gonna get into it, and it's gonna cost them or something like that.
and
Zara
yeah, and
and
I think they need more like time to brew together. I guess is the right way.
Yes, yes. They have to kinda throw these tags together because they
Mhm.
got rid of our tag. They truly did through those cuts.
True.
So but Zara and Soul, they are a really great tag team too. I think they're gonna put up a really great fight, and I think they'll be like really close to winning or something like
Hmm.
that. But because they're NXT, I don't know if they will pull the trigger on that because it's like
Yeah,
not well
and
known and if on the main roster.
uh-huh. And to be honest with you, they're the tag team that I'm most excited to see
I
because I love
know.
them. They work so good together and Soul in the ring is honestly ridiculous. But I just don't think they'll pull that trigger on an NXT pairing.
Right. Soul is freaking a beast, man.
She's
Like I don't
crazy.
know. I don't think I've seen someone as athletic other than like Bianca or someone like that, but she's so athletic. It's insane.
But athletic like that after an injury is the
Yeah.
craziest part. Like she didn't miss a beat after her injury.
Right. Yeah, she just seems so like flexible too, like,
Mhm.
so I don't know. I'm gonna say Roxanne Raquel, just because I feel like we can finally have that switch of the plates and say
Mhm.
like Roxanne earned this title, right? And if they want to push that story of, oh, Roxanne's replacing Liv, that would be like one of those things of like removing Liv's plate and putting Roxanne like, woo, that would be like another push towards that story of, okay, yeah, she might actually try to replace
Mhm.
Liv. What do you think about the vigil?
So I think that Liv is coming back some way, somehow
Hmm.
sooner than we think,
Yeah.
honestly. Because every storyline with them still revolves around her. We get
Hmm.
her name mentioned constantly. So I feel like somehow she's going to be involved sooner than we think. I know a lot of people are like, she's going to be out 6 months, she's going to be out 8 months, whatever. I think she might be back by SummerSlam in some form. She may not be back
Yeah.
in the ring, but I think in some form she's going to be back soon.
I would love for her to just come back, even if it's just to talk and be behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I'm just really happy they're not. It seems like they're not going that route of like Roxanne taking Dom. Like,
I hope not. I don't need a repeat storyline, let's be honest.
I'm glad they're not. It doesn't seem like they're really doing that. It seems like they're more so doing the best friend
Mhm.
thing of taking your best friend in your place in the team or whatever. But yeah, the last time we saw Liv, she was kind of like, getting on Raquel and kind
Mhm.
of saying, you're not, helping me type of thing.
Yep.
So definitely creating that tension there between her and Raquel. And I think that eventually the whole group. Dom will be that key factor of like, okay,
Mhm.
is he going to ride with Liv or is he going to choose Judgment Day?
So, and I think what's going to ultimately happen with that group is I think that Liv and Dom are going to be on the outs, and then the rest
Yeah.
of them are going to be. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Liv and Dom's going to split.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And if not, that'd be really wild.
Mhm.
Having Liv as a singles competitor again, that's like really
Mhm.
big. That'd be really big for her too. So either way, it's a win-win for Liv, honestly.
It really is.
Tiffany and Trish.
So I don't think there's any. I mean, I feel like this is obvious. I don't know how you feel, but I don't think Trish is taking the belt. Like she's
Mm,
not. I think
no.
it's going to be a good match, but I think Tiffy for sure wins.
Yeah,
And I think Tiffy is going to hold the belt till SummerSlam for sure.
yeah. Something I just thought of just now. What if, okay, what's her name? Trish. Oh God, I'm gonna edit
Trish,
that.
don't
I
edit
know
it.
her
It's
name.
fine.
Don't get on me, okay? It's double T's. It's hard, okay? Trish, what if she takes the title for, some interference and Naomi is that
See,
wild card that
I
comes
saw a
through?
lot of people say, is Naomi going to cash in? But Naomi has the match with Jade. And I just feel like it's not going to happen. I have a theory on when Naomi's going to cash in and how she's going to cash in, and I'll tell
Oh,
you it after we talk about Naomi and Jade because that kind of falls into it.
okay.
So we'll come back to that.
Yeah, but I could see that happening. But if that is not the case, then yeah, definitely
Yeah.
Tiffany. Now that's one of the ones where I'm like, that should be like a no-brainer, but who
Hmm.
knows. We didn't think that Io is gonna win against Rhea all those months
True.
back, so they could pull a wool over our eyes. I just don't think they will. I
No.
don't think they will. I hope they do something to make it a little bit more interesting, because that was one of the matches that everyone had like beef with, because it just
Hmm.
wasn't that interesting, to be
It was
honest.
just random.
Yeah.
Like I
Well, I
feel like they
remember.
needed a way to put Trish in, and Trish and
Yeah.
Tiffy have the past, and so they were like, "Oh, here you go."
Yeah, I was gonna say that Tiffany has said it before that she wanted
Hmm.
to go up against Trish. So I feel like this was kind of like a, here you go.
Yeah.
Get the match that you always wanted type of thing. So we'll see. I hope they do something or throw some sort of corkscrew in there to give us like excitement about it. I don't
Hmm.
know. All right, Jade. Well, you want to do Jade and Naomi now?
Let's do it.
Because that was the next one. All right, Jade and Naomi. What do you think?
So I think that Jade's gonna win this. And the only reason I say this is because I think ultimately Naomi is cashing in at SummerSlam against Jade. Because we know Jade is going to
Mm.
face Tiffy because she won at King and Queen of the Ring. And
Mhm.
so Jade is going to go against Tiffy at SummerSlam. She's going to get that belt that she wants. And then Naomi's going to come in and get her revenge because Jade beat her at WrestleMania and will beat her at Evolution. So
Oh,
that's
so
my
you think
theory.
that if that happens and they go, so you think that Naomi will take it from Jade at SummerSlam?
I do. I do.
Okay.
I think Jade will win
Mhm.
against Tiffy. And then I think Naomi's going to kind of like spoil her win.
Ooh. Now, you know one thing. One thing's for sure, they better not have Naomi lose and be, like, the only woman to, like, miss
No,
out on her
I
cash
will
in.
riot. Because after we get this whole Naomi cash in with the belt, we need Naomi and Bianca when Bianca's healthy.
Ooh, yeah, I do want that. I do want that too. I think Bianca will probably come back or at least be back on TV around SummerSlam as well. I feel like
I
she'll
hope
be
so. I feel like SummerSlam without Bianca and Liv would suck royally.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
already sucks.
Evolution sucks enough. Let's be honest.
It sucks so bad. It sucks so bad. I thought she would be better by now. I thought she would
hmm
maybe not like wrestling hardcore, but I thought she would be like on the show again or,
Doing something, yeah.
yeah, at least like be in the background scenes and progressing the story of the three of them.
hmm
But yeah, I mean, originally they were supposed to have Jade and Bianca.
hmm
So, ugh, if if Naomi were to cash in on Tiffy and get her, because that was the big thing too, is that Naomi had beef with Tiffany. So if she were to somehow steal that, title off of her, especially because of Nia too, Nia could interfere into,
Oh,
there was
now
that
I
whole
feel I feel like she pops up everywhere. So
uh-huh, and especially around Tiffany. So
Mhm.
she could interfere in their match and Naomi cash in and she takes it to SummerSlam, then they go, against Jade. Jade takes it or whatever, and then now we have Jade and Bianca again. Either way, I feel like Bianca could go up against either of them because
She
they're the
could,
big three,
she
you
could,
know?
and it would be super interesting.
Yeah. Either way they go, I feel like that would be hard to mess up. The Jade, Naomi, Bianca story is like one of the best
It
women's
is.
stories right now.
Yep,
So they can't mess it up. Like I feel like it's like chicken nuggets. You can't mess it up.
no
And they
doubt. Like
probably
those
do.
three have got the best story going on because there's just so
Yeah.
many things you can do with it.
Yes. Yes. All right. What about the battle royale?
See, this one to me is like a big question mark because we don't even know who's in it. Like we know Nikki's in it, but I think that's the only one that's gotten announced. So we
Yeah.
don't even know who's in it. Like we just know that they're going on a Clash of Paris. So I'm like I don't know. I mean, obviously I feel like there's definitely going to be like your people that are on the roster now.
Mhm.
Kind of like let's see who else like Maxine, Natalia, maybe some of those people. Um
I would love to
but
see Chelsea, Piper.
Chelsea, yeah, like I feel like you're
Mm.
gonna get those. Selena, maybe even because she doesn't have her
Mhm.
belt now. But I feel like because it's such a big question, I don't even know who to predict is gonna win this.
That's true. Literally, all we know is that Nikki's in it, and
I
that's
know, and
it.
so it's like,
I
I
guess I'm
mean,
gonna say Nikki then.
yeah, and that'd be fine. I
Yeah.
would love to see Nikki for longer than just one show or two shows. So
Right. They did I don't know how true this is, but they said that the tickets, kind of flew off after she
after
announced she's
she
gonna be
announced,
there, which is pretty awesome. Star
well, I
power.
feel like, we got that Nikki Liv like teaser, which I was super excited for that match, and then Liv got hurt, and we kind of were like, okay, is Nikki still there? Like, what is she gonna do? We don't know.
Ugh,
So I'm glad that they did announce her in some form. I feel
yeah.
like the battle royale is going to be like the Royal Rumble kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be some surprises and some pop-ups, and I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I think the difference is that they're going to start in the ring though, right? They're not
Yes.
gonna, like, be
Yep.
coming out
No,
because oh
I
my
don't
god,
think
that's
they're gonna like
forever.
count down and come in. Yeah, I think they're all just gonna start in the ring.
Yeah. It's better that way, but one thing I do like about the battle royales is that we get to see everyone and everyone gets a
Mhm.
chance to shine, and even though they should have done a better job of telling us who's gonna be in it type of thing, at least those characters, those wrestlers will be able to perform
Yeah.
at Evolution, which is awesome. And who knows, maybe they do a cool trick that, you know, gets them a fan, you know, an extra
Mhm.
fan that day, whatever, and then they start to get a push, you know. So I
One
think it's a
person
great
that I
opportunity.
could see winning is Stephanie because she's gotten so much momentum lately. I
Ooh,
could definitely see her pulling off the win, and I hope that Scarlett is at least in the battle because we need Scarlett, let's be
yeah,
honest.
yeah. Scarlet, B-Fab, you know, people that we don't really
Mhm.
get to see that often. We've been seeing,
Meechin, like, we don't really see
yeah,
them.
yep. I know that, you know, Scarlet, we usually don't see her as much, but Carrion's been getting that little push
Mhm.
too. So now we're seeing both of them. I feel like they both help each other get seen because we
They
all want to
do.
see Scarlet, and then there's a lot of people that want to see Carrion, you know, go up again. So
Mhm.
they're kind of like feeding off each other. It's a pretty cool like dynamic. But yeah, Scarlett's getting more, you know, scenes and stuff. Her look obviously is very you know, important, you know,
Mhm.
for her character because she has a cool look. She's like
Oh, she's like a
gorgeous.
yeah, she's gorgeous, and she's like that got that, like, badass, like,
Yeah.
just vibe.
Yeah. Yep. So I can see her, you know, maybe getting more TV time too. She can wrestle. I've seen some
Yeah.
old like indie, you know, videos of her, clips of her. So I would love to see her, you know, go back out there. Someone super feminine. I love when there are wrestlers that are like super feminine and they're like
Mhm.
they wrestle and they're like really good too. It's that like duality of like you can be feminine, like super hyper feminine and still be
And
like
super tough at
kick
the
your
same
butt.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What about Io Rhea?
Honestly, I think Rhea takes it. Because I just don't I am one where I don't understand repeat matches if the outcome stays the same.
Yeah,
So we got Io, Rhea, and Bianca at WrestleMania, and Io won. Now we're getting Io and Rhea again, and I just don't understand why we would have a repeat match if the
yeah.
outcome wasn't going to be different.
Well, we
I
also had
also think
yeah.
that if Rhea does win, Bianca could be in that picture as well.
Yes, mhm. I'm not ready for that feud, man. I'm a
I
little
think it could
Bianca.
happen.
But yeah, you're right, you're right. But they also had the match where I mean, they had it twice. They
Mhm.
had that twice. Bianca was on the sidelines, and remember Rhea said that
Oh, yeah, to
she
get
blamed
into
her.
WrestleMania. Yep.
She blamed her that, you know,
Yep.
she interfered, and then there was the other one where Bianca was the ref. So this is the 4th match now,
Oh,
like,
you're right, I've
this
forgotten all
is
this. But Io has won every single time, and that's what I'm
mhm.
saying, like, I don't
Yeah,
understand why we would have this match again if the
yeah.
outcome's staying the same.
I honestly feel like it was supposed to be Liv. I think Liv was supposed to
It
be
was.
going up against
It
Io.
was supposed to be Liv against Io, and like I said, when Liv got hurt, I feel like they had to pivot a lot. And I
Yeah,
do think this was the best storyline to pivot to because there is so much history there.
yeah.
But I do think Rhea's gonna win.
Well, something that I mean, people were saying that they could have also had Stephanie versus Io because remember Stephanie never finished her match.
No, and that match was fantastic.
Yeah. Julia, I think,
Yes,
interfered,
Julie
and
and
Roxanne.
Roxanne interfered. That was when they were
Yep.
together.
So they never got to finish. They never got to finish their
No,
fight. Like, what the heck?
and that was Io and Stephanie was a good one.
Yeah. To be fair, though, you have to have Rhea somewhere on that card. You know,
Hmm.
I can admit that you do. You have to have her somewhere on the card. So I just feel like they didn't know what else to
And
do.
to be honest with you, like looking at SummerSlam because it's only 2 to 3 weeks away,
Hmm.
and I don't mean this at all like any shade to Io because I love Io Sky and I think she's fantastic. But I feel like Rhea going into SummerSlam would carry more momentum for the fans because everybody loves her.
Everyone.
Well, 99% of the
I
fans love
know.
her. She has a huge following, and so I just feel like, everybody wants to see mommy back on top.
I know. I know. I know.
You know they
Well, I
do.
will
You
just
see it on TikTok.
I will be the opposing vote and say Io because Io still has a strong fan base. And believe it or
Mhm.
not, like underneath the like WWE post, people like when they're like, who do you want to win? On WWE's post, and it was people saying like everyone was like saying Io. They're like,
Mhm.
they want Io to have a better run, and she didn't. And they kind of kept her in the back and didn't have her fighting for her title as much as we would like to see. Not even like once, maybe once that she
Yeah.
fought for the title or defended the title. So they feel like it's unfair and they want her to have a better thing. But to be realistic, I think Rhea's gonna win. But I'll just say Io just to do the opposing vote for
And again,
Io.
I love Io, and I would not be disappointed with that. I just feel like whenever WWE puts Rhea in a title match, it's really hard to go against her.
It is. But what I will say too though is that if that's the case, and she carries that title to Perth, I'm thinking of like Perth, you
Mhm.
know, it's on her birthday and like all this stuff. Like, are they gonna make her drop the title? Is she gonna go into it with the title and leave with the title?
And see, that's the thing, like, how long does her run last? Like,
Yeah,
because SummerSlam is only a couple weeks away, so does she lose it then to somebody, or does she hold it for a while? I don't
yeah.
really know.
I can definitely see her going to Perth with it and leaving with it too, though. But
Mhm.
um, that's the risk. If she gets it right now, there's a big risk that she might lose it. Like sooner than I guess you
Sooner
would
than
want.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, though, she might take it to WrestleMania, and we get the Bianca and Rhea match that we were supposed to have last year. So we'll see, or this year, I mean. Um, if they do that, I will try to. I want to go. I want to go to that one. I have to see it in
I
person.
I would love to go to WrestleMania, but I don't
It's
know.
so
The cost. Oh
expensive.
my gosh.
Las Vegas.
Well, and it's just like the flight and the
Yeah,
stay, and I'm just like,
yeah, I get that. No, I get that. All right, last thing, and I think this is main eventing, right? Like I don't know, Bailey, Becca, or Becky, not
I
Becca.
don't
Sorry.
honestly know. I haven't seen like a lineup, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true. I guess we won't know for a little while longer, but we were laughing off camera about how their names initials perfectly spell BBL.
And it's so funny because they always call Bailey like BBL
Yeah.
Bailey.
Bailey, Becky, and Lyra. They remind me of siblings, like
Mhm.
the older, middle, like youngest. Lyra obviously being that younger, like rebellious
Yeah.
spirit, like she's
And I
actually
feel
been
like
whooping their
Bailey is the
butt.
middle child for sure.
Bailey's the middle child. She's
Yeah.
underappreciated,
Yeah.
you know, and is not treated fairly by the fans. And then you have Becky, who's like the know-it-all. She's like, I deserve everything.
Yeah. I'm the
Um,
oldest. This is my show.
yeah. I actually think that Becky's going to be the one to win it because I think she elevates that title a lot.
Mhm.
Lyra just had it. I guess my second best guess would be that Bailey get it because
Mhm.
it's been a while since Bailey has held the title, and Becky made it a big deal to say that do you remember what it feels like to hold gold and all this stuff.
Mhm.
So she might have to eat her words there, but I'm gonna go with Becky because it feels like the safe choice. But I could also see Bailey kind of getting. I don't think it's Lyra out of all
I
of
like all three of these women. I think they're all three great, and I honestly think this match is going to be really good.
them. Hmm.
But I agree with you on Lyra. I don't think she's going to win.
Yeah,
She just had it. She just lost it.
yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Hmm.
I went back and forth on Becky and Bailey for a while because, like you said, Bailey hasn't had a title in a little while. Becky took her out at WrestleMania, so she kind of wants that revenge. But I honestly think the work that Becky is doing right now as a heel is fantastic, and I think they're going to keep that going for a while. So I definitely think Becky's going to retain.
Really? Okay,
I
I thought it would
do.
be like not. I thought we wouldn't agree on that because I was like,
Nope, I have to go with Becky. She's been
yeah,
killing it lately as a heel, and I don't think
yeah,
they'll slow that down.
yeah, not
And
yet.
again, like you said, ever since she got this title or got into the title picture, it's kind of
Mhm.
elevated it.
It has Bailey, and it gives a lot of opportunities for
Mhm.
people who are not. really wrestling that much, and Bailey just got inserted into this
Yeah.
feud. So that's the only reason why I'm like, I don't think she's gonna take it right away. I think they're gonna
Right.
beef for a little bit longer and maybe try again SummerSlam, something like that. But I think Bailey will be the next holder of the title.
Well, and that's the question too, because again, SummerSlam is 3 weeks away.
Mm.
And so it's like, all right, so
Dang.
then does Becky like turn around and fight at SummerSlam, and who does she fight? And
Yeah.
because so I personally think that we will get Becky and Bailey again at
Mhm.
SummerSlam with no Lyra, because I think that
Yeah.
makes the most sense, because Becky isn't really feuding with anyone else right now. It's just these two. And so there's not really time to build another opponent. So I definitely think
Mhm.
something will happen, and Becky and Bailey will be at SummerSlam.
Yes, I agree with you. And yeah, I think Bailey will probably be the one to win at SummerSlam. Hopefully. I would love to see her hold that, because
I
she
I could
also,
definitely see that happening.
yeah, she would also elevate that title too. I think that's their biggest problem right now, is elevating the new
Mhm.
titles that they just introduced to us this
Mhm.
year. And so they're having the vets kind of hold it for a little bit to make us care about them. But,
Yeah.
you
Well, and
know,
if you think about it, Bailey, she has a lot of people that she has history with as well. I mean, she has
mhm,
history with Naya, she has history with Tiffany, she has history with Roxanne.
all of Damage Control.
We never got that Roxanne. So I feel like if she did get that title, she would have a lot of possible opponents. I
Mhm.
honestly would like to see, if she gets that title at SummerSlam, I would like to see a Roxanne feud, because that kind of like just went away. We never really got an ending to it. It just kind of went away. And so I think
Yeah.
them two feuding for that title would be really good. And it would
Ooh, I
kind of
like
add
that.
another dynamic of Roxanne trying to get gold and fit in with the
Yes.
Judgment Day.
Yes. I like Roxanne. I know, like, she's getting a lot of hate, but can you imagine, you're trying your best to fit in. We all know what that feels like.
Mhm.
We know what it feels like to try to fit into a new friend group and everyone's being mean to you and they don't want to invite you into the group, and like you're trying so hard and doing everything that you can, and they're like, kind of discarding you or dismissing you. So Roxanne needs something. That's why I want her to win the tag thing. She needs
Mhm.
something to solidify that she needs to be taken serious. I don't think she's a replacement for Liv. I still love Liv. But in the meantime, this is like a huge opportunity for
Mhm.
Roxanne to like really show everyone what she's about.
I love Roxanne. She is ever since she came onto the main roster, she has been killing it, and I love her as
Mhm.
long as she stays away from Liv and Dom.
Hey, the moment you turn up on Dom, we're
We're
done,
gonna have
Roxanne.
problems.
Yes. They're not gonna break Liv Dom up. They make too much money.
I
They
was
make
gonna
too
say,
much
I
money.
honestly I think they would be so dumb to do that, just
Yeah.
with the attention and the money that they get from that. It would be so
Yeah.
stupid.
Yes.
So I'm good with Roxy. She can take Raquel, Finn, Big Head. She can
Exactly.
take all of them.
Yeah.
Just leave Liv and Dom alone.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to. All right. Well, Mandy, thank you so much for coming onto the show
Yeah.
again. And I'm going to see you again.
And
Um,
we will plan something, and you can be on mine too.
yes. Thank you.
We're gonna get it on the calendar.
Right now, put it out. But yeah, thank you so much. If you guys want to follow her channel, I'll link her down below in my description. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Jazz out, Mandy out. Enjoy Evolution. Watch it, you guys. Bye.